Well, this is my second time recording this video. Go figure. My SD card ran out of room. So, there you have it. No room. And seeing as I didn't know how to fix the problem without deleting videos, so I did the two older videos that I did, that one's already uploaded and the other one I couldn't get to upload, so I just went ahead and deleted them. Whatever. But I didn't know how to go on from the video that I took that just all of a sudden cut off. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Well, it needed to be shorter anyway, so I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm going to learn how to do this sooner or later. Maybe. At any rate, as I told you before, I have seen the cardiologist, the pulmonologist, and the psychologist. And the cardiologist referred me for a stress test. Let me go back a little bit. I don't know whether I explained this on my introductory video. The reason that I am pursuing weight loss surgery is because all of my joint issues. And right now, my biggest issue is with my SI joint, or SI joint dysfunction. And it's pretty bad. For those of you that don't know what an SI joint is, it's short for sacroiliac, and it's where the bottom of the spinal column attaches to the pelvis, or the sacrum attaches to the pelvis, or the iliac bone is called in the back, is the iliac. But, and this bone isn't supposed to move. It's held by ligaments and tendons, and it's not a moving joint. What it does is it helps to distribute your weight evenly on both sides over the top of your hips and knees and feet. And I have apparently a good deal of arthritis in it, and it is extremely painful. I can honestly say I've had joint problems for a while, and it started out in my neck. I have it in my shoulders and my left elbow and my knees and my feet, and a little in my hips, not a lot. Some in my back. But with all of that, I have never felt handicapped. It's not ever stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do. Sometimes walking gets painful. And, back 3 years ago, I had surgery on my hip because I had a torn tendon in my hip. And so that had to be repaired. And it was painful, but I still got around, okay. I mean, it wasn't without pain, but I got around and I could handle the pain. This, not so much. It keeps me from doing a lot of walking in order for me to exercise, because I'm required to by the bariatric folks. I use a stationary bike, which I own a stationary bike, and because I find the stationary bike so boring, I have no clue. I find it boring because you go nowhere. You sit there and you pedal and you pedal and you pedal and you go nowhere. Now, I can get on a treadmill and go nowhere, but I find that okay. I can do that, or I couldn't now. It would be too much impact on my SI joint, but, in the past, I liked the treadmill. So what the difference between the two is, I have no clue. Put it up to, I'm a little on the odd side. A lot on the odd side, maybe. But at any rate, At any rate, but because I don't like riding, I'll go for 10 minutes and then I'll get off and I'll walk the length of my house 5 times and then get back on and ride for another 10 minutes and get back off and walk around my house, ride for another 10 minutes, get off and walk 5 lengths of my house, and then I'll go for another 5 minutes for a total of 35 minutes on the bike. And my average speed has been about 13.7 miles an hour. Yeah, I go. And strangely, it's helped my knees. I mean, riding the bicycle, my knees haven't bothered me hardly at all in the last 2 months. Different story. I think it exacerbates my SI joint pain, and in order to even do it, I take 4 Advil the first thing when I get up and wait about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I do my exercise because it's just too painful otherwise, and it's still painful. I can handle the pain. It can be tolerated, but it's not easy to do because it's just not easy because of the pain. So at any rate, as I said, I had to have a stress test and an echocardiogram, which is what the cardiologist referred me to. And I had no problems with the echocardiogram. Got to the stress test, and I don't know if any of you have ever had a stress test before. A lot of younger folks that have been through weight loss surgery probably don't. Some older people going through weight loss surgery may have to have this procedure. Basically, they put you in a PET scanner, and they scan your heart and how it functions when it's just normally beating, not under any stress or anything. And then if you're younger and they give you a stress test, they'll put you on a treadmill and have you run until your heart rate gets up to a certain point, and then they'll put you back in the PET scanner to see how your heart handles the stress of a faster heartbeat, I guess. I'm not exactly sure just exactly what it's measuring, but they have to have your heart beating very rapidly. With me, they do it medically with a shot that's designed to make my heart accelerate, or make somebody's heart accelerate. Well, the problem wasn't the test. This is my second go around with this test. I had it I guess it's been about 10, 12 years ago. And that's a long story, and I won't go into why I had to have it. It wasn't because I suspected I didn't think I had heart problems, but I wanted to be sure. But at any rate, the PET scan table is curved slightly, sort of like that, lengthwise. And I had the echocardiogram and the stress test on the 20th of June. And when I got on that table, I realized immediately that it was going to be painful, and I tried hard to get through it. But there was so much pain. The table hit right on my SI joint and was pushing it out of position. And the pain was incredibly bad. I was the kid when I was growing up. I would fall down, skin my knee, and would not shed a tear. Not one tear. I would go home, very matter-of-factly say, "Mom, I've skinned my knee. I need a Band-Aid." I would clean it up, put the Band-Aid on. I mean, I might be shuddering because it hurt. It would be sting when it was being cleaned out. But I would not cry. Would not cry. And during this procedure, I had tears running down my face. Literally running down my face. And she kept saying, "You have to be still," and I couldn't. There was nothing I could do. It hurt so bad. I have never had anything that hurt that bad. Ever. Ever. And so they had to stop the test, and she said, to call my doctor and get something that would help with the pain so that I could complete the procedure. And I mean, she wasn't ugly about it or anything or short with me. She understood. She said most people take painkillers for this when they have arthritis and have back problems. And I said, I didn't know. I've had this test before and it was fine, but I didn't have arthritis then like I do now. And so called the orthopedist, and he prescribed a half a tablet of hydrocodone. So that would have been 5 milligrams of hydrocodone, and told me to go ahead and take it to make sure it wouldn't make me too drowsy for the procedure. And I took it. It didn't make me drowsy at all, and didn't help with the pain at all. So I went ahead and took a whole one, and it still didn't help really. And so on the day of the procedure, I went ahead and I took a hydrocodone when I first woke up, the whole pill. And then a half an hour before it, I took 2 hydrocodone. And I had checked to make sure that it was medically safe to do so. But, I mean, it didn't help very much. I mean, it helped. I got through half the procedure. But, oh my gosh, I have never described pain as a 10 before. I've gotten up to 7 or 8, but I have never said 10. And I'm sure you're familiar, 0 is no pain, 10 is the worst pain that you can possibly imagine. And it was a 10. A flat out 10. I was so upset. I have cried for days because I have been so upset by not being able to complete the procedure. And the first half is done. I won't have to repeat that part, but still. So now, a little bit more backstory. Back at the beginning of June when I went to see the orthopedist for a checkup, I had seen him back in March, I think. Or April, I think. And he had prescribed 6 weeks of physical therapy 3 times a week for an hour. And so I had been through that. It didn't help. Painkillers obviously don't help. But at any rate, when I saw him in June, in the first week in June, he said, I'm going to go ahead and refer you to the pain management for a shot in that joint to see if that won't help. And he said, it should help. So I was all excited about that. Could not get the appointment until August the 7th. And so when I talked to the people when I had the procedure done this last time, they said, well, schedule the procedure for the day after, and, so that you'll have the least amount of pain, and talk to your doctor about something for the pain. And so I called the clinic because I wasn't even sure whether that was just an appointment with the pain manager and then they would schedule the shot. And as it turns out, they would schedule the shot, and they couldn't even say I would have the shot, even though that's what my orthopedist referred me for. And I guess I don't know whether they were just giving me the runaround or what. So the soonest I could get the shot would be the 15th of August. So I've got an appointment with my family physician. It was supposed to be Tuesday. Long story short, I was avoiding Monday because of things I had to do Monday. Well, the things I had to do Monday are now going to have to be done on Tuesday. So I'm going to have to try to reschedule. I've got to call the cardiologist to find out how to schedule the repeat of the scan, what he thinks I need to do. I have found another place that might be able to give me the shot in my sacroiliac joint a good bit quicker, and so I'm going to see my family doctor for the pain medicine and to go ahead and see whether he can refer me up to the new place that I found. That's where I'm at now. It has completely thrown me off. I have been in tears over it. It feels like the very thing that I'm trying to resolve with the surgery is the reason I can't have the surgery right now, because until I get the stress test, they can't submit the paperwork to my insurance company, yada, yada, yada. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I am so thoroughly discouraged. I don't even know where to start. Like I told you at the beginning, I've never felt handicapped, and I do now. I feel truly handicapped, and it's hard. I would appreciate any prayers that anybody has, or if you don't believe in prayer, good thoughts, but I would appreciate anybody's support, and I thank you for listening. I've been complaining for 16 minutes. So, at any rate, thank you for listening. Please subscribe. I want to be able to get the support that I need, and I also want to be able to help others so they can, particularly, like I said, I'm a good deal older than most weight loss surgery patients that I know of. I know there's, Sleeved at 60, and I think she's about a year and a half younger than me, if I figured it out right. But as time goes on, there are going to be more older people doing this, and it's not easy. It's not an easy process for a younger person, much less somebody that's my age. And so I really, really want to be able to be there so that they can kind of know what to expect. Maybe they have the same kind of joint problems that I have, and they'll know ahead of time to expect a stress test to hurt, because probably if they're older, the doctors are going to want that test. But at any rate, please be blessed, and know that I love you all, and that I hope you have a great week, and I hope all your goals are met. Bye.